And I know you think sometimes I give LeBron grades that he doesn't deserve, and I'm sure you think that I give Kawhi grades sometimes that he doesn't deserve. But I'm gonna have the only grade that I can give Kawhi is a C plus because I thought he was average last night. I don't think he really impacted the game on any end of the floor, especially early, because he let KD get going early. His game suffered because he had 3 turnovers in the first quarter, and he wasn't his customary self. He was great for a stretch in the fourth quarter where he rattled off 10 straight points. But I don't really think he had his thumbprint. I don't think he impacted the game like we're used to seeing Kawhi do. And so by that stretch, Skip, I didn't like his game offensively. He was 9 of 24 from the field. Defensively, he let KD get into a rhythm early. So that's the best I can do. I thought he was average. I thought they played average, and this is why we have a game 6. So the best I can give Kawhi is a C plus.
Wait a second. Did you start your soliloquy by saying, I should know that you're always fair? You fair?
Fair. Firm, but fair.
When it comes to LeBron and number 2, you're outrageously not fair. You're outrageously overprotective of both. So I'm sorry. I wish I could have taken your course in college because you're the most generous grader I've ever encountered. Again, you give him a B plus for an average game. Well, then that should be
No, I
C.
didn't. I gave him a C plus. I didn't give him no B plus. I gave him a C.
Oh, I thought you said a B plus.
I gave him a C plus.
Oh, a C
No,
plus.
I gave him a C plus. I thought his game was average.
Oh, I thought you said B plus. Okay, well then you're...
No, I gave him a C plus.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I misunderstood. I thought you said B. Okay, so then I'm going to be the more generous here because I'm going to give him a B minus because of that flurry. It was a sensational flurry. He just couldn't finish it off. But until that flurry, he had a game even quieter than he usually is off the court. Because remember, in the third quarter, he scored 1 point. And then in the fourth quarter, before the flurry, he had scored 2 points on an offensive rebound putback. So we go all the way down to the 5-13 mark, and he's got 16 total points for the game. And at that point, he goes Jordan-esque crazy. And he makes a couple of threes, and he makes 3 jump shots, and all of a sudden he scored 10 points in less than 2 minutes. So that was such a sensational flurry that I'm going to move him up above average. So I'm going to move him up into the B minus category. But from then on, he goes stone cold quiet again. And he misses his last 2 shots, one with 2:50 remaining, a fall away in which he shot an air ball. And then minute 10 left, he's got a chance to put them in the lead. It's a tie game. And he takes a 26-foot 3-point shot and he misses it fairly badly. So down the stretch, he does nothing. That last 3:28, he scores no points. They have 7 possessions in the last 3:28. And if you're that guy, if you're Jordan-esque, you just figure out how to get a hold of the basketball and score the basketball. And he did not. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Skip, the reason why I gave him a C plus, because had he not had that flurry, he'd have got a D.
Okay.
Because I thought the first half he didn't play particularly well. It was the 5 turnovers, Skip. He was really, really careless, really, really sloppy with the basketball. And like I say, he doesn't always have to score to impact the game, but he let Kevin Durant get a rhythm early. And in the process of Kevin Durant getting a rhythm, which opened the floor, Klay and Steph now got a rhythm. Now you got to deal with them, even though Kevin Durant's gone out. They never got out of that. And Steph was able to keep that rhythm for the first half. And then Klay, like you mentioned, 8 points in the third quarter, 6 points in the fourth quarter. So he was able to keep it going.
He did. So then what happened defensively to number 2 on what became the shot of shots, the game-winning shot? Where was number 2 on that play in which Klay hit the biggest 3 of the night? He was guarding Klay. He was cheating completely underneath the basket for reasons I don't know. You cannot cheat off Klay Thompson unless you don't have any respect for him. Maybe you just didn't have any respect. But he made you pay him some respect because once the basketball gets swung around, Draymond made a hellacious, great anticipation pass and just whipped it cross court to Klay, who was wide open. And here came number 2 on the fly, and he leaves his feet and leaps, hoping that Klay will take the bait, and Klay did not take the bait. He pump faked.
Well, because
goes flying into
you remember
the first
one of the
row.
plays, In one of the plays earlier, Skip, Kawhi blocked his jumper in a corner. He tried a three-point shot, and Kawhi blocked it with his left hand.
Yeah, but
so
that
don't
was
think
obviously
Klay doesn't
that was
know
against
that.
the shot clock, and he's just going to force it up there, and it was a pretty easy pickings.
But the thing is, Skip, and this is what you know when you play the Warriors. The two guys you can never cheat and help off of is Klay and Steph. Even if KD's there, it makes it virtually impossible to help off anyone other than Iggy and Draymond.
Okay.
But two guys, once KD left, why would you ever think to cheat off of Klay and Steph? What would ever possess you to do that?
Okay, then you just convinced me. I just lowered his grade to C+, is what you said yours was. So I'm going to do that because
you was waiting to do that anyway. You was waiting to do that anyway. Once
he flew by Klay Thompson, he had the poise, the wherewithal just to take one settling dribble, which he is so good at. If he gets his one dribble and sets, you are cooked because that ball is going to swish, and it swished. And that was the basketball game. And from then on, let's look at the big picture total. So he winds up number 2 with 26 points and 12 rebounds. I'll give you the 12 rebounds, pretty good. 5 turnovers mitigates that. But do you realize number 2 took his most shots last night in the finals? He took 24 shots, most he's taken in any finals game.
Right.
And he still only scored 26 points. And what did we see?
That 26 on 24 shots is not very efficient.
He has been getting to the free throw line like crazy. Last night, he did not. He had his series low free throw attempts at 8, and he did miss 2 of them. Not that that's awful because he's been shooting at a 90+% clip. But by his standards, that was not very good, right? So,
well, it wasn't very good, Skip. And if you look at it, the first half, they got to the free throw line a bunch. I think if I'm not mistaken, the second half, what did they get, 5-6 times to the free throw line? It was getting to the free throw line, which kept them in contact with Golden State. And what was separating them is that not only were they getting to the free throw line in the first 4 games, they were knocking them down. They were going 27 or 28. They were going 22 or 24. Now, all of a sudden, as the pressure starts to mount, you go 21 of 27. When you had only missed 10 free throws in the previous 4 games combined, you missed 6 in one game because you know what this game represents, Skip. You're in your building. You have one game away. You're 48 minutes away from being NBA champs. Don't think, because like you said, with the exception of Kawhi and Danny Green, no one else has ever felt that kind of pressure.
No
one else has ever been in that moment before.
And I'm going to say this one more time because I watched him for 7 years in San Antonio. Number 2 does not love that late game, last second kind of pressure. I was not surprised he gave the ball up. And again, if you're Jordan-esque, to me, if you go back and look at that play again, the double team is coming late enough. Iggy's coming late enough that if you had seen it and anticipated it, you just attack Klay to your left. You can bounce him off and you can get a jump shot.
But Skip, I went back and looked at it. If you notice something, Sean Livingston is standing there. That's why he doesn't go left. Look at Sean Livingston. That's why he goes right, because he sees Livingston standing there. And he doesn't know Iggy's going to come because he thinks Iggy's going to tail with Kyle Lowry. So now once Kyle Lowry disappears and Iggy comes, he's like, oh, my goodness, now what? Now he has to pivot and hopes he can find someone that can create a shot for themselves. And give them credit because Sean Livingston was standing to his left. That's what dissuaded him from going to his left. He thinks he has a better path to the right, and Iggy comes and traps him, and he has to give it up.
Are you giving Sean Livingston that much credit? He plays like scarecrow defense. He's like beanpole
But look
defense.
look where he is, though, Skip.
It just doesn't matter. If you're that guy, you just power through. You get to the free throw line. There are a lot of ways you can do it. You just say, get out of my way. I'm going to attack this before they can get their feet set, and I'm either going to get a clean look at a jump shot, or I'm just going to keep on plowing, and they're going to have to foul me. They've had to foul him the whole series. Skip, they can't keep him from the lane.
But Skip,
if you're that guy,
you really think about it,
yeah,
he is that guy, but that's not his game. His game is not Kobe. His game is not MJ. His game is more Magic, more LeBron. I will take the shot if it presents itself. But if there's a better option, or if they trap me to get it, because he won't play hero ball. He's made that abundantly clear. He's not going to play hero ball. He will make the right play, and you must be in that situation. You must trust yourself enough to what decision you make, live with the results, good or bad.
You're describing plays that happen in the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter. I agree with you. He can be unselfish almost to a fault. This is it. This is a chance to win the NBA Finals. And you let it slip away because you did not force
Hold
the
on, what you
issue.
mean you let it slip away? All Golden State did was delay the inevitable. It's still going. The coordination will happen. The Raptors will win the series.
Really? Huh?
Yeah,
That
really.
would be shocking to me because I picked Golden State in 7, and I'm sticking right with it.
You can pick whatever
Pressure
you want.
mounts.
You can pick whatever you want.
Pressure mounts.
You can
Here we
pick
go.
blueberries, grapes, strawberries, but guess what? You better pick the Raptors because they win in the series.
Well, somebody I know picked Golden State in 6, and now he's driving the Toronto bandwagon. I don't know how that happens. I'm still sticking with my pre-finals pick.
I ride in the catbird seat with Kawhi.
Okay, good.
At least we have some consensus this morning on a grade for Kawhi. So C pluses all the
C
way
pluses
around.
all around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Up next, did the Warriors prove they can win without